I mean, this guy over here, he fought the federal government because he wanted, black people to be free. But this Robert E. Lee over here, he fought the federal government because it's his home state. Hey y'all, welcome back. I've been making video essays for about 6 months now, and it's great, but like a years-long relationship, I feel the need to spice things up a little bit, which is why it is with great pleasure that I introduce to you the newest, most thrilling political game on the YouTube, PragerU. Got to be kidding me. Proud of that double entendre, not gonna lie. The game is simple. PragerU exists and has a lot of bonker videos. I just bought a dartboard with a bunch of numbers on it. I assign each number on the dartboard to a PragerU video. I throw a dart at said board and then react and respond to whichever video it hits. Make sense? Well, if not, hopefully me throwing the dart kinda explains itself. But anyway, hope y'all enjoy, and with that, let's send it on over to Dartboard Piley. Dartboard Piley, do you come in? You there? Buddy, you there? My mic. What's up, gamer girls? We are live in the studio today, filming the first episode of Prager. You've got to be kidding me. I am really proud of that joke. If I don't see any comments, I will cry. Let's get started. Miss. Yeah, another miss. Jesus Christ. Oh! Bullseye! Let's fucking go! Please excuse my excitement, everyone. I didn't ever think we would hit the bullseye. The bullseye is the Robert E. Lee defense that they produced recently. Let's switch it on over to reaction Piley. Thanks, dart-throwing Piley. Now, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this whole dang old dongle thing.
Statues of great historical figures, like Robert E. Lee.
Whoa, okay. There's your first mistake, PragerU. Great historical figures,
like
Robert E. Lee. Get that shit out the same sentence, okay?
Statues of great historical figures, like Robert E. Lee, are being torn down across America. Facts about Lee that remind us why his statue should remain.
Keep in mind, this is supposed to be prescriptive going forward. These are not just facts about Lee. This is prescriptive as to why his statue deserves to remain up.
Robert E. Lee was connected to George Washington through his father, Light Horse Harry Lee, Washington's cavalry commander, and his wife, Martha Washington's great-granddaughter.
Wait, okay. His dad was in the Revolutionary Cavalry. Who cares? What's his dad? Is family lineage? Oh, well, that's because it's bloodlines. That's very important to these fuckers.
You have good genes, you know that, right? You have good genes.
Do we need a statue to every son and daughter of every army general in the Revolution? All the kids that died of malaria at 3 years old, do they all deserve statues?
Lee's home at Arlington House was just 10 miles from Washington's Mount Vernon.
Ooh. Okay, it's like the opposite of guilt by association. It's pride by proximity. His home's just 10 miles away, so you know he was a pretty chill guy.
Today, it is the site of Arlington National Cemetery.
What part of this has been prescriptive so far? We should keep this guy's statue up because we put a cemetery in his house. You're not convincing me. The burden of proof is pretty high on you to defend the Confederate general, and so far you're kind of falling short there.
Lee led U.S. Marines to crush the attempted slave rebellion by radical abolitionist John Brown.
Oh, you mean American fucking patriot John Brown? The same John Brown who was so committed to destroying slavery, so appalled by its very existence, that he risked his own life leading an unlikely rebellion? You mean that John Brown? And let's be crystal clear about the point they just made. Robert E. Lee's statue needs to stay up because he crushed an abolitionist movement. Folks, we have in the year of our Lord, 2021, a major conservative media outlet praising a former Confederate general for stopping the slaves who tried to free themselves. God, we really are in the darkest timeline, huh? You know, there's a lot of people out there who would prescribe really broad claims to what's the problem with America. This is the problem right here. You've got more people willing to accept that a Confederate general deserves a statue than based, abolitionist-pilled, revolutionary John Brown, okay? That's a problem. Every city hall in America should have John Brown statues, not fucking Robert E. Lee, Jesus. When you try to take away the power of slavery by the only way slavery would ever concede power, violent means, you're treasonous. You're a radical abolitionist as opposed to a moderate abolitionist, which is to say, there would be no abolition. Jesus Christ.
Lee deemed slavery a moral and political evil in any country.
Okay, this is a good start, you know. Now let's see where this goes.
But considered it a greater evil to the white man than to the black race.
Oh!
Blacks are relatively better off here than in Africa.
Really? Really? Really, PragerU? Really, it was easier on the people who were subjugated to endless work. It was really harder on the folks who owned people.
Since blacks are immeasurably better off here than in Africa.
For an ideology all about how great freedoms are, you sure are willing to ditch the value of freedom if it includes marginal proximity to better material conditions, which you weren't afforded access to, let's remember. But back to it, even if this claim that they were better off could be verified as true, that has nothing to do with this. The claim it was a greater evil, meaning a greater toil on the white person, is disconnected from them being better off.
Despite offers to command Union forces, Lee opted to organize the defense of his native state.
Okay, look at that. Look at how they're framing that. Native state. Look at how they try to have like an appeal to like hometown values here. And then, here we go again. Prescriptive. Does he deserve to have his statue up because he has hometown pride? Is that what they're trying to argue? He could have fought for the good guys. You're acknowledged here. Look, there were, which is a thing, by the way, that I didn't know until this video. Oh, but it's his hometown state, so it's fine that he went and worked with the slavers.
As president of Virginia's Washington College, he favored education for freed slaves but opposed their right to vote.
I feel like what they're probably going for is that they're like, he favored education. Okay, that feels like it's the buttons. Okay, cool. But
opposed their right to vote.
That's a reason to keep his statue up then, huh? Is that what you're saying? Ugh.
After 4 years as Confederate commander, Lee became an icon of reconciliation upon his surrender.
Okay, the little bit I do know about him is that, if I remember correctly, he himself didn't want statues of him or of Confederate general. This is maybe the one point that they've gotten correct. But while we're on the subject, let's go see what other historians might say about him. Historians have clashed and are clashing still over the strength of his support for the system of forced labor that kept millions in bondage for generations. Like, as far as I'm concerned, when you're on the side of the war that's trying to defend it, I don't care what tacit little critiques of the system you gave. When you fight to uphold it, that's where you lose me. He was not pro-slavery, but I think it is equally important that, unlike some white Southerners, he never spoke out against slavery. Well, you see, that's where you're wrong. He did. It's just that he said it was worse for the white man. Okay, here's another thing. This is just like a history recap at this point. He died from a stroke. Is that an argument for why he needs to stay up? He's buried beneath the chapel. Is that an argument? No, this is just a weird fact. They ran out of things to defend him about.
His legendary warhorse Traveler rests in a plot nearby.
Racist ass warhorse. So yeah, that's PragerU's literal worst video. Oh, and here's where you get to the fun part. They deleted this video. Everything in the top of the queue, majority port response. The re-upload that I clicked on, Vosh reacts, Hassan reacts, they scrubbed this video from their channel, and thank you to the radical abolitionists that have re-uploaded this video to the YouTube so that we could appreciate this for years to come. Oh, nope, nothing on their website. The video came out in December, nothing since October, so let's go to twitter.com. This is good. Well, you can't see me on screen. I'm saluting Lieutenant of the 4th Division, the 4th Ninja Division here. Twitter's good for a select few things, and it's you folks that make it worth it. But yeah, the cowards made this video, and it is important to note, I was under the impression that this was just something 18-year-old intern was tasked. We'll never know, because the credits were probably in the original video. We'll never know who made this. And that's honestly, this is I guess what I'll wrap up with here. Something that frustrates me so much about them deleting the video is we don't really have a good sense of what the video's response was with their typical audience. Brexit, super controversial issue. That's barely like 12% dislikes if I'm doing the quick maths in my head. It might be a little more than that. Anyways, their typical audience is about 80 to 90% fans of theirs, and a lot of the comments, especially those that just kind of auto-funnel to the top, are supportive. And that's probably why they deleted it. I am convinced it's as much about saving their personal brand as to save folks from the embarrassment of, in the comment section, going, well, I don't know, this John Brown fella, I mean, I don't know, he stole some guns. You know, that's pretty violent. But this guy, this guy, his home state was under attack, so, you know, he just had to do it. But this violent guy over here, I mean, this guy over here, he fought the federal government because he wanted, you know, black people to be free. But this guy, oh, this Robert E. Lee over here, he fought the federal government because it's his home state. Just a comment section full of that would just have to be unimaginably embarrassing. So I think that's probably part of why they deleted it too. Thanks everyone for tuning into this first inaugural episode. I'm glad we got to the super duper fun stuff right off the bat. I'm glad we got to point out the depths of this organization's critical commentary when they start criticizing radical abolitionist John Brown. I'm glad we could start on this note. And now let's turn to end card Piley. Take it away, Piley. Thanks, Reaction Room Piley, and special thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to toss me a like and subscribe down below. Make sure to ring the little bell and set the notifications to all so you can know the exact nanosecond I release my next video. This video series is possible due to the generous support of my lovely patrons, like those whose names are currently on screen. Buying this dartboard was our first community goal, which we were able to pass this month. So if you enjoy my work and want to get access to exclusive behind-the-scenes content, be sure to join me over on Patreon. Oh, and also I keep forgetting to plug this, but go follow me over on Twitter at Piley Benton. Sometimes I have a decent thought. Thanks much, and I'll see you next time.